Thinking about how similar this is in a lot of respects to The Greatest Showman is going to make it nearly impossible for me not to bring up at least a couple of Greatest Showman songs at some point during this review. It's a dangerous path for me, almost like walking a tightrope. Wait. That's right, folks, we got another picture to review, and for that special occasion I put on my best black... my best black suit, of course. So we're back to reviewing every Best Picture Oscar winner. That means we're taking a trip this week to 1936 for the Great Ziegfeld, the story of Florenz Ziegfeld Jr. Yes, it's a man called Florenz, with Z at the end, Florenz. But don't worry, generally throughout his life people just called him Flo to make it manlier. Wait. But anyway, he's one of America's greatest showmen. That's just the way he's described, generally. That's not even me adding that in. This 3-hour biopic features scenes all the way from Flo working at a fair near his home trying to earn a bit of cash, all the way through moving to New York and trying to create the greatest show in the world. The man has got a million dreams and we watch them come alive as his fortunes are just constantly reversed. Like, it's all the time. Like, he goes from one side of poverty all the way to the other side real quick. The problem with Flo was that he spent extravagantly when he didn't have money, and when he did have money, oh boy, he broke the bank as much as he possibly could, meaning that no matter how much he earned, it was never enough for him. While he very much carries on with his ways while he's with his first wife Anna Held, he eventually meets that special girl who he wants to rewrite the stars for in Billy Burke, and he decides that from now on he's just going to be a better man. Despite the film being 3 hours, it only feels like it's 4 hours long, and I don't think I have ever seen a film with this much grandeur fit into the runtime. It is extraordinary. The costumes, the set designs, the fact that a lot of members of the real-life Ziegfeld Follies show were in the film, it all just comes together to create very much the closest thing you'll ever see to a blockbuster from the 1930s. It is also the first ever speaking film to go over 5 hours in length. I mean 3. William Powell brings that special extravagance to Ziegfeld that kind of makes this feel like it's probably a more authentic biopic for him than P.T. Barnum had with The Greatest Showman, you know? Still not accurate, but a lot more so. At the expense of this being all that interesting at times, yeah. Besides all the biopic stuff, this also manages to give you basically a full Ziegfeld Follies show in the 6-hour runtime. I mean, how could it not? You know, there's only so much that you can fill up to make a film 7 hours long. Anyway, here is my 1-minute review for The Great Ziegfeld. We should so vivaciously celebrate a film that came about because Ziegfeld's widow, Billy Burke, needed to pay off his debts, so she sold his story as a biopic to Hollywood, a place Ziegfeld hated because it stole away a lot of the stars of many of his theatre productions. And there are a lot of confusing jumps in the timeline. You know, you'd think at 8 hours long this film wouldn't have to have so many moments where it just kind of goes, oh, I'm gonna create 4 big shows in the next year, and then it skips forward a year in the next scene and he's done it, and you're like, okay, but that sounds really interesting. How did he manage that? You know, that's what I want to see, and it's just skipping out those bits of his life. There is a lot that's delightful about this one. One of the musical sequences with the Follies is breathtaking. Perfection. Astounding. It cost the equivalent at the time of like $4 million to put the entire set together for that one. It's just astounding, and I mean, that means, if nothing else, that one scene, it is breathtaking. And you remember that all through the other 9 hours of runtime. I'm giving The Great Ziegfeld 71 out of 100, and I severely hope that I never have to watch another 11-hour long film as long as I live. Oof. Extra! Get your papers here! Big headline! Says here a bunch of people subscribe down below after this video is released. That's right, this paper is from the future. Crazy thing, eh? Hope Spanish flu doesn't make a comeback. Oops. Subscribe!